my name is Dera Wijiastuti. My student number is 2020211016. I'm from Day 3 English 2020. I want to tell you an article about gender differences called Men and Women No Big Difference. In this article, psychologists who study gender difference show that one's gender has little or nothing to do with personality, cognition, and leadership. They are divided into three kinds of research. The first one is the truth about gender differences. This section explains that a psychologist named Yuniara from University of Wisconsin in Madison. She did research using meta-analytical techniques that revolutionized the study of gender differences starting in the 1980s. She analyzed how prior research assessed the impact of gender on many psychological traits and abilities, including cognitive abilities, verbal and nonverbal communication, aggression, leadership, self-esteem, moral reasoning, and motor behaviors. After she observed and analyzed from the 1980s, Hyde finally filed a report in 2005, in which she looked into the developmental course of possible gender differences, how any apparent gap may open or close over time. The analysis presents evidence that gender differences fluctuate with age, growing smaller or larger at different times in the lifespan. These fluctuations show again that any differences are not stable. The second is learning gender difference myth. This section explains that media depictions of men and women as fundamentally different appear to perpetuate misconception. Despite the lack of evidence, the resulting urban legends of gender difference can affect men and women at work and at home, as parents and as partners. Hyde has also observed that children also suffer the consequences of exaggerated claims of gender difference. However, according to her meta-analysis, boys and girls perform equally well in math until high school, at which points boys do gain a small advantage. Hyde cites prior research showing that parents' expectation for their children's success in math relates strongly to the children's self-confidence and performance. The third is moving myth. In a September 2005 press release on her research issue by the American Psychological Association, or APA, she said the claims can hurt women's opportunities in the workplace, dissuade couples from trying to resolve conflict and communication problems, and cause unnecessary obstacles that hurt children and adolescents' self-esteem. Psychologist Diane Hawthorne, a professor at Claremont College and past president 2005 of the American Psychological Association, points out that even where there are patterns of cognitive differences between males and females, differences are not deficiencies. She suggests that anyone reading about gender differences consider whether the size of the differences are large enough to be meaningful, recognize that biological and environmental variables interact and influence one another, and remember that the conclusions that we accept today could change in the future. The article is prepared on October 20, 2005 by the American Psychological Association. In conclusion, that gender differences have nothing to do with psychological traits and abilities. Researchers say that Gender roles and social context strongly determine a person's actions. Psychologist Diane Halpern, a professor at Claremont College and past president 2005 of the American Psychological Association, says differences are not deficiencies. The moral value I can take from this article is not to claim a person simply because of gender differences. That's it from me. Thank you.